Howdy, howdy. Welcome to the channel. I've never done a cooking demo before, and this is maybe more a product review than a cooking demo. But what I'm going to talk about today is on the trip, we stopped at a store and we got this cheese shaper. Crispy cheese creations in minutes. And you're supposed to be able to make, I don't know what a formaggio shell is, but I did try the cheese bowl and I made some delicious cheese crisps. So let me tell you what comes in the package. Let me find another light here. Hang on just a second. There we go. You get this bowl maker, which I have not had tremendous results with. You get 3 of these pieces of silicone, reusable silicone paper with 2 holes in them, which go on the stand. There's 2 little pins you put them on, and then you put the cheese on there. And I did do a test run the other day. I'm using a combination of 6 cheese, Italian style blend that said it has low moisture, part skim milk, mozzarella, not smoked provolone, Parmesan, Asiago, Fontina, and Romano cheeses, and then some finely shredded sharp cheddar cheese. I would much rather shred it myself and not have the additives, but I'm not sure where there's a cheese shredder here in the house, so we bought the pre-shredded. What I'm going to do is put a 1/4 cup of the white cheese and then a 1/2 cup or 2 of these containers of the sharp and blend it together. I kind of like that blend better than either of them by themselves the other day when I made it, but I started using just the white, so I have less of that available. That might be factoring in. Oops, I just got it everywhere. I'll have to get that cleaned up before the parents get home. But Mom really liked these little crisps. I think Dad did too, because the plate was sitting out kind of where you walk by over here, and he would grab one every time he came by. Basically, I've had most success with the tacos, which you make on this little stand, and the just the little cheese crisps, which I had actually bought some cheese crisps. I'm just going to mix these 2 cheeses together, and then I'll show you how it works. Basically, you can see where I washed off the silicone from the last time I'd used it. Of course, cheese has a little bit of grease in it. I maybe should have put a little more of the white, but this will be good enough for an example. To make the taco, you always stay a couple of inches in from the side, and you put 2 to 3, I guess they call it tablespoons of cheese on here, and see, it causes it to shrink. If you put too much, it runs off of the frame once you bend it over. Then it goes in the microwave for 50 seconds, thereabouts. I'm going to put it for 52 in this one. And the whole goal is just to melt the cheese enough that you can form it. And while that's cooking, I'm going to put 3 little piles on this one to use the next one for what we're going to call cheese crisps, which I have bought Parmesan cheese crisps at Aldi's frequently. They come in a little bag. They're kind of expensive. Of course, cheese is getting more and more expensive. I'm going to move that over here because I'm going to show you how the taco works on this. And I'm not, all you're going to see is my hands mainly in this. Like I say, I've tried it. You could make a bowl out of this, but I didn't have much success the last time. Let's see if we can make a bowl this time. It's got 10 seconds left. Okay, I actually put it back in for an additional 10 seconds because you actually do want it to get a little bit brown. So to make the bowl, you undo it and then you push it down, and then you got to let it sit there for a little while so that it forms. I'm going to leave the pressure on because I've noticed in the past when I take the pressure off, it pops out. I think 30 seconds is enough to let it cool, but I'm not sure how long it's been. Let me pause this and check. Okay, I'm going to remove it now and we'll see what we got. Not much of a bowl, just like, well, It's not horrible, but I wouldn't really call it a bowl. It's kind of a shell, maybe. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and switch out these and put the crisp on here. I kind of shook them up a little bit by mistake. It's better if you can do it on the frame and not have to move it. So this is going to go in for another, I think I'm going to do 55 seconds on this one. But here is the quote-unquote bowl. I'm going to do a taco next to show you the difference. But you can see it's actually very crispy. A little bit chewy, but crispy. Oh, it tastes so good. And that's just with a piece of silicone paper and your microwave and this little stand you get. Apparently you can buy these online at cheeseshaper.com, probably Amazon. I saw them for about $20 online. I believe we got them for $4 a piece at this store on the Tennessee-Virginia line. I'm going to pick those extra pieces off and eat them before I make the next one. So if that store is open and we get there before they close and they still have some, I may pick up a couple more because I have not found anywhere you can buy these silicone sheets by themselves. Yes, you can buy great big ones, but for $4 I'll gladly buy another kit, and then I'll be able to have 2 frames to be made. So then I just set this over here to let it cool off, and I get ready for the next one. So this one's going to be the taco. I'll show you how it works. Basically, they all start out the same. You start out with the 2 to 3 tablespoons of cheese, which I am not measuring. I'm just doing it like I would be cooking. So it's probably a little bit too much cheese, but can you really ever have too much cheese? Especially on the carnivore way of eating, where everything, or my animal-based way, where it's all animal products only. I'm going to try 59 seconds on this one. Let me bring this over here and you'll see how they just kind of peel right off. I guess I got them a little too close together. It should be 3 different pieces. I'll probably end up making a supply of these for the ride home. Oh, I just got a message from my Versatility. I guess I don't have it on Do Not Disturb because Dad may call saying he's on his way home to go to dinner. But let's get this taco shell made. Then you could use it for a breakfast taco. You could use it to put a hot dog in, whatever you want. I actually set it for 59 seconds this time, so I'll pause you till it's done. Okay, there's the microwave beeping, so let me show you how you actually make the taco shell. It comes out the same. You always have to take it off, and then you just let it fold over here, and I find you also, like the bowl shell, you kind of have to hold it down or it'll pop back up and then you'll have a kind of open face taco shell. I think 30 seconds is kind of what they recommend, but if you can leave it longer, that's better. Sometimes I've tucked these ends underneath the what they call the artist stand here. But all in all, my opinion of this is that it works as it is advertised to work. If you go to the cheeseshaper.com website, you'll see a video on there from a news station where they actually did a full review of it. Let me move the shaper. Oops. Don't do anything but touch anything here. Sit up there. Come on now. Work with me. Okay, so, well, see, that didn't solidify either. Well, now it might. It's still, maybe I heated it up too much. Let's let it cool off a little bit more. The real trick here is getting the right amount. See, I'm nibbling off of this because it's so good. Even if this doesn't form as a taco, it'll still be a good tortilla type of thing. So let's see if it, well, see, it ran down. I think I got too much cheese on it or didn't heat it long enough. This is the first real disaster one that I've had, so let's try it again with a little less cheese this time. I'm going to rinse this paper. No, I'll use the other paper. It does kind of keep a little bit of the residue from the previous batch on there. I'm going to try a little bit less and do it right for 50 seconds this time, and we'll see if it turns out all right. I did read something in I think it was the news channel, that said if you put too much cheese, I guess what you have to do is heat it longer, because it really does need to get brown in the middle like this. And you'll see on this one, I didn't cook it long enough. I'm still going to eat it. I love all that fat coming out of the cheese. Or I guess I could put it back in and zap it a little bit more, but I think it's supposed to all be done at one time. I'm going to pause this till this one's ready and we'll try again. There's the buzzer. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, it is getting a little bit brown in the middle. I put it in for another 11 seconds. So that's a total of 66 seconds, and I'm eating a piece of that bowl. Oh, maybe I let it sit too long. And it also says never to touch it like this without a hot mat, because it is very hot. But let me get a paper towel maybe. You can burn yourself with this grease from the cheese. So I'm just going to cheat a little here and hold it down. And I think this one's going to work, because I'm about out of the cheese mix I made. I can maybe make one more crisp. But it's a balance between how long you put it in and then how hot it gets and how long it takes to cool. So let's see what we have here. Oh, it looks like it worked. I've about eaten all that quote-unquote bowl. Yep, there we have a little taco shell made of cheese. So if you're on a low-carb way of eating, you could use this instead of tortillas, instead of bread, instead of hot dog rolls. And all I got left is maybe enough for one more crisp. So I'm just going to put it all right in the middle and turn it on. And it really, whether there's one or three, it still needs to cook. Let's do 45 seconds on this one, because maybe just a little bit less. Then I'll be back to check it. Okay, there's the 45-second bell. Let's see what it looks like. It has not completely melted, so let me do another 15 seconds. Well, I did another 15 and then I put it in for another 10. It must have been more cheese than I expected, but here's the final result, and it is starting to brown a little bit. I'm going to let that cool, then I'll add it to my little collection here. So just one dud out of a whole 3/4 of a cup of cheese is not bad. And that's probably operator error, since I am still learning how to use this thing. But all in all, I would say this cheese shaper performs as advertised, makes a tasty treat, and is wonderful for a low-carb, healthy-fat diet. So maybe when I get home, I'll do another one and let you know how many more of them I picked up. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye. One thing I should have mentioned before I hit stop on that was even this one that's kind of a dud. See, it's kind of still loose. I don't know if this would be the case on that, but I had got something called a cheese fart that had a hamburger in it when I was in Branson last time. They had basically taken a cheese mix like this and put it in a commercial sugar cone maker. So it was hot on both sides, and apparently once you melt cheese and it hardens like this, it doesn't melt once you put something warm in it, so they could use that as bread. So that's kind of been my goal ever since I've been up there. I think I'll make some ground beef with some seasoning and put in that taco shell, and then I'll have some little hamburger tacos, maybe taco meat. That would probably be the best. Season it like a taco, or maybe just make it like a regular hamburger and put some whatever you want to put on a hamburger. Onions. I do mayonnaise. I don't like the sugar content of ketchup. But anyway, basically once you heat the cheese like this and it gets stiff, you can put something hot on it and it doesn't melt again. So that adds a lot of versatility.